Night Lights. Super pumped that you're here. And for some reason, this wants to be funky, but hopefully you all can hear me. Hey, it's Friday Night Lights, baby. That means it's game night. So whether you have a young person that is playing tonight, or you don't have young kids at all, you're just joining because you're like, hey, seems to be an interesting topic. And if you've joined us for the last, I don't know, maybe it's about 3 or 4 weeks, we've been going live on Friday nights for Friday Night Lights. Welcome back. Grateful that you're here. Hey, tonight, as we're getting ready for game night, I know I am. My young guy is still playing. I actually got 2 athletes that are playing. I have one playing tonight, and then I have one playing tomorrow. So playing football, that is. And you may not have a football athlete. You may have a volleyball player or some other fall sport that's going on. But tell me, hey, first of all, before I even start, make sure you subscribe or you follow. And please leave a comment. Do you like these Friday Night Lights? Are you even watching? Would love some feedback. What do you like? What do you want to hear more of? Really, the Friday Night Lights live is really just combining all the stuff we talk about through Be the Torch, really how to become the man capable of creating the freedom and a life of freedom and legacy in both your wealth and your relationships and in your health. And through the language of sport. As a former athlete, I get it. Through that language, or I should say through the language of sport, I've learned a lot. And so, a lot of my keynotes, a lot of my trainings, I'll infuse the sports stories, analogies, all that, because it translates over so well. And this is no different, today's talk. So today, we are diving into the eye and an old phrase, one of my old football coaches used to say, and I'm sure all football coaches used to say this, the eye in the sky never lies. And really what that means is, for those of you that did not play the sport, is in football, there's always a camera on. And we used to film practices, we would film games, and we would use that film to study. We would study our body of work in practice. We would study that game day films. And I can tell you from high school on up, like after every single game, we went and did film study, the next day. We get in and start studying the film. So film study is critical in sport, yet for some reason, and let me take a step back. We know it's critical, important, because we get to see our actions, we get to see our behaviors, and we get to analyze them. And then we can go back and make adjustments. And that's a big thing about sport, is you can make adjustments in real time. And then, of course, using the film study, you can make adjustments halftime. You can make them the next day. I can tell you also on the big scale, the NFL, those folks, they're doing film study on the field now through iPads and those type of things, surfaces. They're doing active film study. So for whatever reason, once we're done with sport, we no longer document or reflect upon the actions that we're taking. We know the benefit through sport and the importance of film study, looking at the body of work that I just did. Where can I get better? And it's not where did I win, it's where can I get better? And in business and in life, we need to be more proactive in doing this. And yes, I say film study because we were documenting, we're filming the game or the practice or the drills. And so we can watch it and look for ways we can tweak different footwork, technique, all that. When it comes to business and life, you may not need a camera in your conference room or in your office. However, documenting your processes, document the journeys, the meetings, imagine that. Documenting a meeting you have with one of your employees, maybe with a customer, and being able to record it, go back and reflect on it. I know a lot of sales teams are probably raising their hands going, yeah, we do this. We listen on the calls and stuff like that. Fantastic. Do more of it and use it as an opportunity to figure out where can I get better And I don't care how good you already are. Maybe you're closing a ton of business. Fantastic. Get better. Maybe you're the sales leader and the manager and you guys are having a great quarter. Fantastic. Get better. So I appreciate it. What's up, everybody? Thanks for jumping in here on live. Appreciate this Friday Night Lights. And you got to make sure that you subscribe and like, and give me some feedback on the content. What more do you want to hear? What do you want to learn? Can be really helpful so I can craft this to be of service to you, because that's what I want to do. I want to be of service to you. So please go ahead and do that. And so reflecting on it, there's really 3 steps, 3 stages that we can take. And that's just in life. We take massive action is number 1. Massive action. Without putting the action out there, we're not going to be able to identify and determine what, where can we get better. Massive action. Number 2 is to analyze that action. Act, analyze, and number 3 is adjust accordingly. So let me put in the framework of sport. This is where you may be familiar with it. You take massive action. You get out there on the field. You do a body of work. Say it's a sport where there's halves, first half, second half. And you do a first half. You put massive action out there. You get in the locker room. You analyze it. And then you make adjustments for the second half. The sports, logically, you're like, yep, that makes sense. I see it. How does this relate into life? Well, you take massive action, whatever that looks like. You go on a 30-day sprint to maybe acquire leads or customers. Maybe you go out and you do a big sales presentation. Maybe you're shifting your culture and you're putting something in places to shift your culture, shift the mindset of the team, whatever it may be. And it's in doing that, taking that massive action, that we can then analyze. How do we do? And it's easy to put certain periods in place. So Q1, Q2, first half of the year, second half of the year, this year versus last year. We're constantly having different periods by which we're going to analyze. So it could be the month, but having something is, okay, let's take massive action this month. Let's analyze it and adjust accordingly. So I talk about film study. I mean, this more or less is a way to do that. And some of you got KPIs that you're following. I don't always, now look, you're talking to a culture guy here, so I don't always suggest the KPIs be something scoreboard related as far as revenue, those type of things. But also especially if you're a business owner, man, how many days you took off this month, this quarter, how much time you stepped away from the business and just focused on you. Facebook, YouTube, what's up? So it's important for us to analyze that, and then we can make the adjustments necessary. If we're not taking massive action, there's not gonna be much to adjust. If we're not analyzing the action, how do we know where we've been and where we wanna go? And so business, it's easy to see that. And most of us have been trained in business to do that. You take action, you analyze it, you make adjustments. And it's usually something related to your monthly quotas, your KPIs, things that you're tracking towards, hiring a certain number of people, acquiring a certain number of customers, revenue, etc. Life's a bit different, and especially dudes that have not been taught how to do this in their own life. And it's critical that you do this, because the only time they do that, they're forced to analyze, and they're forced because they get sick, or they're losing their health. Their wife gets up and leaves them, or threatens them with, you either get yourself right or you get out, or they lose the business. Something catastrophic, some sort of apocalyptic event happens before a guy wakes up and goes, oh, maybe I should reflect back on what the heck is going on so I can make adjustments in my life. You do it in business. Why are you not doing it in your life? It's time to do it in your life, my friend. This is Friday Night Lights. It's time to What's up, y'all? It's time to do it not just in your business, but in your life. Your KPIs are how many days of exercise did you get in this week, this month? How much time did you take off? How many days did you dedicate just to you, not the business? I get it. It's tough in this hustle and grind culture. We don't need any more hustle and grind entrepreneurs, business owners, men. We got enough of them. And guess what? They're getting divorces. They're estranged from their children. They're not present and available for them. They're losing their health. Their businesses are maybe thriving, but they're chained to them. So when's it going to end? Well, for some people, it may never end because that's just where they've been focusing. And until something apocalyptic happens, it's not going to wake them up. Do not let that be you, my friend. Let's not wait till something catastrophic happens. Let's analyze that work. So we're talking about three things: taking massive action, analyze that, and making adjustments accordingly. So if you've taken massive action, it could be the last 40 or 50 years of your life you've been taking massive action. If you pause to analyze it, and analyze it based on what you are trying to do, what you're trying to create for yourself. So let's use it in the language of sport. In the particular game, yes, we have a certain strategy that was sent out, that we put in place for this particular, we game planned. And so we're trying to map towards that game plan. And so we analyze the film, the body of work that we're doing to ensure, does it match our game plan? In your life, do you have a game plan? Or was it just, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a degree or whatever, I'm just going to start a business and I'll figure it out from there? I know that's what I did. I didn't game plan. I just followed what the norm told me to do. I just followed what society said I needed to do. Let that not be you. And it's okay. Give yourself some grace. If you did that, like me, give yourself some grace and you're all right. You're going to survive, and it's never too late to make any changes. So what are we going to do about it? Well, you need a game plan, because in your personal life, what most guys do is they build a business and then they try to figure out how to sprinkle their life into that. Doesn't work that way. Apocalyptic collapse is coming, not if, when. So let's game plan. Let's create a lifestyle that your business can fit into. Novel idea, but it's not common practice for sure. And so it's time to make that shift. So what we do is we game plan, we create the plan we want for our life, and then we fit the business inside of that. We document that, whether that be actually on film or just in your processes. How am I doing with spending time in my relationship? I mean, imagine if you every week, maybe every day if you have to, depending on the status of your relationship, or if you are out looking for a new relationship, that you can establish this right away. How are we doing? How am I doing? How did I do this week as your partner, as a man? Based on my game plan, I want to step up. I want to be a leader. I want to have masculine energy to drive this relationship. I want to be intimate. I want to be sexual. I want to have all those things. How did I do? So analyzing that massive action and then making adjustments. You're going to get feedback from your partner. It may not be feedback you like. Get better. Who cares? Get better. So doing those things in your relationship, doing them in your business, doing them in your health, vitally important. Tracking. Okay, your kids. It's okay, guys. Man, we get in this, I see it all the time with these guys that because you are a father, you're in a position of power. And you take that power as if I can't look weak. I can't be vulnerable. I can't apologize. That's not strength, my man. That's weakness. And your kids smell it. So with your children, it's okay. Now, again, depending on their ages, you're going to get feedback based on their lived experiences and the amount of time they've been on this earth. So it's okay to say, hey, how did I do as your dad this week? I know I'm working at getting better with that. So how can I, or, how did I do as a dad this month? Just asking for feedback, analyzing your work as a dad, and then making adjustments based on your game plan or your life plan. Massive action, analyze that action, and make adjustments. You all got that? This is Friday Night Lights. We just do a quick 15 minutes or so on Friday before the football action starts. For at least here in the U.S., a lot of people are attuned to what's going on in the world of high school sports and Friday nights. But for us, we take it through the language of sport. We talk life, we talk business. So, guys, I'm grateful for y'all to join me here. I would love your feedback on what insight would you want from me, from my insight, from my lived experience. You can look me up on social. You can see the type of things I do as far as building teams, personal culture, driving a movement of men, high achievers who want to be successful in business and in life. So if I can be of service to any of you, please send me a message. I'm at Cletus Coffey. Send me a message. Let me know how I can support you. You can always go to cletuscoffey.com/book a call, and I can help you work on a plan together. I'm here to be of service to you. Please let me know how I can help. I got your back. Let's do this. As my goal is to be an example of what is possible in this world. I want to do that for you. I want to help you do the same. All right, buddy. Off to the games tonight. Good luck to all of you who kids are playing. We'll catch you next Friday. Or sooner, I should say, or sooner, because we're going live throughout the week. See ya.